Your brain is not broken, it's overloaded. And there's a difference. Overthinking isn't a character flaw. It isn't weakness. It's what happens when your brain is stuck in a loop. It doesn't know how to exit. You replay conversations. You run worst-case scenarios. You analyze decisions that don't need analyzing. And the more you try to stop, the louder it gets. This video is about why that happens, and a simple 3-step brain reset you can use today to quiet the noise, regain control, and actually think clearly again. Why your brain gets stuck in overthinking loops. Here's what most people don't understand about overthinking. It's not random. It has a trigger, a pattern, and a neurological reason it keeps happening. Your brain's job is to solve problems and avoid threats. When something feels unresolved, a conversation, a decision, a situation you can't control, your brain treats it as an open threat. And open threats don't get ignored. They get processed. Repeatedly. This is called the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain naturally fixates on unfinished business. Incomplete things pull your attention more than completed ones. So when something feels unresolved, your brain loops back to it again and again, not because it's broken, but because it's doing exactly what it's designed to do. The problem is that most overthinking loops are about things you can't resolve right now. Future outcomes you can't control. Past conversations you can't change. Hypothetical scenarios that may never happen. Your brain keeps looping because it's looking for resolution, and resolution never comes because the thing it's fixating on isn't actually solvable in this moment. So the loop continues. Why trying to stop thinking doesn't work. Most people try to stop overthinking by telling themselves to stop. Just stop thinking about it. Think positive. Distract yourself. That doesn't work, and neuroscience explains exactly why. When you try to suppress a thought, your brain activates what researchers call the ironic monitoring process. It assigns part of its processing power specifically to watching for the thought you're trying to avoid to make sure you're not thinking it, which means you're thinking about it constantly. It's the same reason telling yourself not to think about something makes you think about it immediately. You cannot think your way out of overthinking. You have to interrupt the loop from outside the thought itself. That's what the 3-step brain reset does. Step 1, name it. The moment you notice you're overthinking, name it out loud or in your head. Just 2 words. I'm overthinking. This sounds almost too simple to matter. But neuroscience shows that labeling an emotional or mental state, a process called affect labeling, activates the prefrontal cortex and reduces activity in the amygdala. In plain language, naming what's happening creates distance between you and the thought. You go from being inside the loop to observing it from the outside. You stop being the thought. You start watching it. That shift alone weakens the loop's grip. Not permanently, not dramatically, but enough to create a gap, and that gap is where the next 2 steps work. Step 2, ground yourself physically. Once you've named the loop, interrupt it physically, not mentally, physically. Look around and name 5 things you can see right now. Press your feet into the floor and feel the pressure. Hold something cold or textured in your hand. Take 1 slow breath and focus entirely on the physical sensation of the air moving. This is not a relaxation technique. This is a neurological interrupt. Your brain cannot maintain a full abstract overthinking loop when its sensory processing system is actively engaged. The physical grounding pulls your brain's attention out of the future or the past where overthinking lives and into the present moment, where the loop cannot survive. This step doesn't solve whatever you were overthinking about. It doesn't need to. Its only job is to break the loop long enough for your rational brain to come back online. Step 3, offload the thought. Once the loop is broken and your rational brain is active, give the thought somewhere to go. Write it down. 1 sentence. What is the actual thing I'm overthinking right now? Not the spiral, just the core of it. Then ask 2 questions. First, is this something I can take action on right now? If yes, write down 1 small action and do it. Resolution closes the loop. Second, is this something I cannot control or resolve right now? If yes, write it down and close the notebook. The act of writing externalizes the thought. Your brain no longer needs to hold it in active memory. The loop loses its reason to run. This is based on a well-documented principle in cognitive psychology. Your working memory has limited capacity. When you write something down, your brain releases its grip on it, not because the problem is solved, but because the information is no longer at risk of being lost. The loop was never about solving the problem. It was about not losing track of it. Give it somewhere to live outside your head. The loop stops. Using the reset today. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a journal. You don't need 10 minutes of silence. The moment you notice the loop, name it. Ground yourself physically. Offload the thought. 30 seconds. That's all it takes to interrupt a loop that could otherwise run for hours. And the more you practice this reset, the faster your brain learns to exit the loop on its own. You're not just managing overthinking. You're training your brain to recognize the loop earlier, interrupt it faster, and return to clear thinking more naturally over time. The goal is not a silent mind. The goal is a mind you can redirect. Name it, ground it, offload it. That's the reset. Use it today. If this gave you something real, subscribe to Simple Ways of Life, practical brain training, simple daily habits, and honest self-improvement that works in real life. Like the video if it helped. And try the reset today, not when you feel ready, right now.